dRofus?
Oh, I remember my first dRofus project.
My first encounter with dRofus was on a $1.2 billion hospital. Once we got it up and running, there were some immediate benefits we got from it, and there was a clear difference and distinction between the old software that we were using and the capabilities of dRofus.
It's the I in BIM. Why would you put that information in the model when you're just going to clog that model with information when there's programs out there that basically separate that I, link to the model and link to databases?
Well, you need interoperability. You need an open BIM workflow. And dRofus allows me to do that.
There's so many changes. Every time you change, the drawing changes, equipment is changed, and this has to flow onto other consultants to digest and to provide power and data. All these parties are using spreadsheets, and there's no controlled version of it. It's just horrible. You never get right. You never get right.
Whenever I see an Excel spreadsheet over the shoulder of a colleague, I kind of cringe a little bit. The second that data's offline, it's a risk to the project.
You should be using dRofus as if it was just a regular tool that you pull out of your kit every single time. You have to put in a bit of effort to develop those tools, but once you have, it's like anything else in the office. It's a standardized process. It's familiar to the team. It de-risks. It gives you transparency and oversight, and it just helps you to deliver.
The data, is the project. It is the building. It's your building. And if you can control the data, if you can understand the data, then you control the building.
dRofus is, for me, the way to go. From all the tools that are on the market, dRofus is the number one to deal with that amount of information and to coordinate it in a really successful way.
dRofus is an information tool that perfectly balances the simplicity of information structure on a construction job and the complexity that can come with connecting to various different softwares and information sources on a project.
And I would rather take the time to set up the dRofus database for a small project than work without dRofus. I mainly deal in hospitals, and it's just too much of a risk to not use it.
With the way that industry is going, we've got all of these collaborative BIM practices and processes in place, but there's been a bit of a missing link, and that is your project information model or your asset information model. dRofus basically fills that gap. And I see this leading towards, really effective use of a digital twin.
I couldn't imagine working on large-scale projects without dRofus. It's become such a core element and resource for the project, allowing everybody to have that single point of truth as a reference, whether it's doing floor and wall finishes or the complicated NME in an operating theatre.
Database sounds scary in the first place. However, dRofus is a very easy tool. You should just get your hands on it. Good tool, resolve problems, and you will be happy that you have tried. If you miss it, just as you would regret you have missed Bitcoin 5 years ago.